Hello everyone, Coach Tervel here with the Ohio RTC Mental Monday, brought to you by Wrestlingmindset. And for the topic today, I just want to give you guys a little practical wisdom that you can apply right away to get a little more out of yourself, to get it to fight the fears and doubts that come before matches, that performance anxiety, and just real practical ways that you can kind of talk to yourself, learn to talk to yourself before matches to get a little more out of yourself. So first, I want to differentiate that there's a distinct difference between a desire to win and a desire to wrestle. So a desire to win is that's all you want. Under any circumstances, doesn't matter if he falls down, doesn't matter if nothing happens, as long as you get your hand raised. And we hear that a lot in our sport, just get your hand raised. If all you want is to get your hand raised, believe me, you will do as little wrestling as possible to get that done. Because any risk you take jeopardizes the thing you want most, and that is, in fact, the W. But if your focus is wanting to wrestle, that is a dangerous man. That's the person that packs in as much as they possibly can in that 6 or 7 minutes, depending on what style you're wrestling. And they just do as many moves as they can. And when the dust settles, they look at the score and they won or they lost. But they're not concerned about just getting their hand raised. They want to create wrestling. And so that's the focus. The focus is to progress into a state of the best you is the person that wants to be there, nowhere else you want to be. Don't avoid wrestling, but embrace it. And so with that being said, first you have to understand you have to prepare for the right under the right circumstances. And those circumstances are going to be the same every time. There will be fear, there will be doubt, there will be the desire to protect your reputation. So all those things considered, those nerves that you experience on tournament day, what you can produce under those nerves is who you really are. So it doesn't matter, you can be the best, you can have the best double leg in the world. If you never shoot it in competition, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're too scared to fire it, it's not truly yours. So the wrestling you can produce under those circumstances is who you really are, because it's all encompassing. It's not just what moves you know, it's what moves you're willing to take a risk on against someone that might have as much talent as you, that might be able to actually beat you in that match if they wrestle better than you. So with someone with equal ability, all things considered, you are who you are. You are the wrestler that you can produce under those circumstances of fear and doubt that come, those nerves that come before matches. So that being said, I want to encourage every one of you to find a phrase or a mantra that clicks you back in, that reminds you, and it has to come from your mind. It can't come from anyone else, because the coach can say, open up or wrestle as much as you want from the corner, but it's not going to speak to you. It has to come from something that's important to you. And it has to take you to a place, because everyone has that moment where there's nothing on the line. It's in the middle of the summer. You're on the couch eating potato chips, watching the World Championships, and you're going, I can't wait till it's my turn to do something hard, to wrestle that really good opponent. And remember that. Have your mantra, have that phrase that takes you back to that moment where you want the fight. Because I promise you, on tournament day, most of the time you don't want the fight. You would rather him be a little injured, have a bad weight cut. Heck, some people, there's been times where I'm like, I hope he doesn't show up. I hope I have a forfeit, right? Depending on the circumstance. I mean, you'll do anything to get that easy W on tournament day. So have your pre-match routine, have that something that you repeat to yourself that reminds you of the time and place where you wanted the fight, where you started this sport, not for trophies, not for gold medals, but for the sheer will to see if you can be the best at it. And it needs to remind you of that, and share it with your coaches, so that when you start to protect, when you start to clam up, when you start to wrestle not like yourself, they can say it, and it's like you coaching you. What would you yell at yourself when you're watching your video and you start to clam up and not do anything? When you watch your video and you go, man, that's not me, what would you say to yourself? Think of that thing that snaps you out of it and snaps you back into the fight. Tell your coaches and say, when you say this to me, it means something to me. It's important to me. All right, so Mental Monday tip, find that mantra, find that phrase, dial yourself back in, because there's nowhere else you want to rather be than in that moment, experiencing that fight and seeing if you can overcome it. So thank you guys, and God bless.